No, no, my dear, we're not being abducted by aliens. It was just a perfect alignment of a full moon at a certain time of year, and it was just glaring off the lens of the camera. And then it just so happened that where it looked like there was a ray of light coming down from a spaceship, there was another trail camera set out there about 100 yards away, and it was going off because the deer were in front of that camera as well, and it just was like perfect timing, and it looked like they were being abducted. I didn't know what was going on. Seems like there's an unlimited amount of cellular trail cameras nowadays, and for the most part, they all do the same thing. Other than price and longevity, there's really not that much difference when you compare all these different cameras. But today, I'm going to show you guys an all-new camera, which could be the next step in cellular trail cameras. This is the Keen Ranger PT. For the most part, what you have here is a security camera with a movable head and a connected solar panel. So you can pretty much put this anywhere you get cellular signal, and it's never going to lose power. I used one of these last year for our upcoming bear season. Ryan pulled a tag, and I wanted to set something up really high that I can move around, and so I took the Rio Link out and I had that set up. That was this big, bright white camera up on this pole above a bear feeder, but it did work. The bears didn't seem to be bothered by it, and I was able to move the camera around and get lots of footage of bears. I mean, when I say lots of footage of bears, I mean lots. Let's get the box opened up, see what's inside, get it out in the field, and get some testing done. So as you see on the box, it has really nice packaging. It has 360-degree viewing, 4G cellular network, as well as 940 nm invisible LEDs. I can't remember what NM stands for, but it's something important. On the back, they just have a picture of the setup, and then a guy looking at, a deer. And then on this side here, it shows you where you can download the Rio Link app. Keen, nice little instruction. Open this up. Got the app operator's manual here, quick start guide. Get this thing moving pretty quickly. I will say right now, I'm not going to be able to get this going because I haven't purchased a SIM card. There's a couple different options. They recommend T-Mobile. There's some other cards out there that use T-Mobile, AT&T that do work with these. We got the antenna. That's weird. So like it's literally sitting on the camera, but it's neat. Got your antenna, your camera. So right here, I believe you scan this QR code with the app, and then it will activate your camera and make it so that you are now connected to the app. And then this is the piece that connects to the tree. Comes with some screws and anchors if for some reason you are connecting this to a building. This is neat. This is a little belt for the camera, but I say it's neat because I've never felt anything like this. It's just a like seat belt canvas material, but I don't know if it has like some kind of, it feels almost like vinyl. And then down here you got the solar panel. Once again, it's got the camouflage on it instead of the white. And then your mount, so they give you more anchors here. So they got the anchors and the screws for the solar panel mount, and then they also have anchors and screws for the camera mount. We got the mounts, the camera, solar panel, strap. I guess the strap goes onto this here. So you got a little backing there. So if you're not screwing it in, you can have the strap. Does not look like it has that option for the solar panel. So you're going to need some kind of screw gun or screwdriver or whatnot to connect this to a tree if you were planning on putting it on a tree or a post even. Right here it uses a micro SD card, and then right above it is where you put your SIM card. Now, like I said, I have to go purchase a SIM. I just got this in the mail today, and I only got like 5 days to do a review on this camera. Here we have the power. Here it connects to the solar panel, and then this is for the antenna. I had my Rio Link set up last year at a deer camp. It was on a T-Mobile card, and it worked fine. We were watching the bears all the time. My kids loved watching the bears, and my daughter was really mad when we shot one. But, yeah. I'm gonna put this screen right here. So we got the camera working. you can see here, and I can go into PTZ, and I can turn the camera, and there we go, it's turning, and now it's turning the other way. I can go up. The speed on this camera is a lot faster than my old Reolink. I'm gonna have to get used to it. All right, so I'm back in the studio. We're gonna check this camera out. Unfortunately, I didn't get any videos last night, but you know, that happens. They just tilled that field, just planted that field, so there's not a whole lot of activity in this big old dirt field. So right there, we can just hit the camera. First things first, obviously you got the live image here. We're gonna pause that because I don't want to waste my data. So if you're watching this live, say alert your phone and you start seeing a nice buck or big bear, anything, whatever you use this for, elk or whatever, you can quickly take a picture, saves it directly to your photos or whatever. I don't know what they use for Android, but whatever they have for your photos, it will be saved into your photos. Same thing, we can make a 5-second video here so I don't use too much data. I'll show you those in a second in my Photos app. I want to do this one more thing here, and you can change the image quality from Fluent to a 4 megapixel image, which is basically a 2K image. Now this is a higher quality image. We'll hit the record button, 5 seconds, not a big deal. Turn it off, and then we'll go right into my photos. I'm going to turn my phone to the side so you can see the difference in the quality. So right here, this is just an image in the low quality. And then here's a video in the low quality, which honestly, the low quality in the video is not that bad, especially for a live image. So right now I got the high quality going, and then I'm gonna start recording. As you can see, it's a little bit slow with the data here. And I noticed it does that when you hit record. It seems to slow down the data, but it seems to be going okay when you don't have the record function going. And then we're gonna go back to images. And then there you go on the higher quality video. As you can see, it's a little bit jumping around. So before I get into the side, there's one more button here past the quality that we're going to get into in a second. I'm going to go down to the bottom here first, and I'm going to show you guys what that does. So on the bottom, you can actually talk, and enables talk. Speaker comes on, and I don't know how good a quality that is because I'm not standing in front of the camera, but I can hear some of the words pretty good. Another feature we can go in here, I got to get it going live, is the PTZ, which means pan, tilt, zoom. This camera does not have zoom, so it's just a PT, but it isn't a good feature. You can actually move the camera around a little bit. On the pan, it works pretty well. You can go left to right and you don't have any issues. I did notice on the tilt, it's a little quick. So I moved it up and it moves fast. Move it down, moves fast. So it's a little bit hard to adjust on the tilt side of things. Now, let's get into playback. And like I said, there's a 6th button over there on the top underneath the screen that I didn't want to get into until we get into the playback, and this is why. So we got playback. There's all the videos that we shot yesterday, and then we can go and click on one, and it's going to load that, and you can change the quality with the quality image. So I can change this to clear. So there the image is a little bit clearer than it was with the low. Go back to Fluent, same video, and it's obviously you can still tell it's us, but it is a little bit lower quality. Like I was saying before, I didn't want to hit the 6th button here underneath the screen until I got into this mode. But what you do is you click it, and then up in the top right corner, you can actually click, and it will show you all the images recorded, all the videos recorded, I should say, on the day of 6/20. So now, if we go back to the main screen, or you can, if you click on another screen too, and you can hit that little cog or gear, whatever you want to call it, up in the corner, it will bring in the settings for the camera, and then it shows you the battery, shows you the display. The old camera used to, when I had the old camera, it used to show me the signal, and I kind of wish that it did that, and I don't know why it doesn't show the signal. It does show the space on the card, so I got a 32 gigabyte card, and it shows that there's 800 megs used, so not too much. When I click on it, it doesn't do anything. I don't know if that's just because this is a new camera, not released yet, so they don't have that information in the app. So display, you can go on for display settings. You can change to flip vertical, so if you have this camera set up with a
funky way and you still want to see it upside, if you had this camera set up upside down to fit where you're trying to mount it, you can still be able to see the image upright. Same with horizontal quality. You can change the settings as far as, your resolution you can't change, but you can change frame rate, and then you can also change the megabits per second, or in this case, kilobits per second. And then in the Fluent, you can do the same thing, and your range is 64 to 512 kilobytes per second, or with 15 or 10 frames per second. Now, you can change the day and night. You can change it to, so even during the day, you can have it in black and white. I don't know why you would want to use that because it gets oversaturated like this. Then you have auto, so basically it'll just detect the light that's outside. If it's dark, it's going to put a black and white image up. If it's light, it's going to have a colored image. So let's get out of display. You can change the device volume. I'm not going to mess with that as well. You can turn your motion sensor on or off, as well as change the sensitivity. And then it has the reduce false alarms. So if there's a limb that's waving like this, and the camera will detect that, and it'll say, hey, that's been doing that all day, it's nothing. So you got your push notifications, email alerts. Now email alerts, you can set that up so maybe, for instance, you have somebody that goes to your deer camp, they don't use a smartphone, they're still on the old flip phone stuff, but they do use a computer. They can actually get email alerts to the camera and be able to watch the videos, from their home computer or whatnot as well, and then push notifications. For the push notifications, obviously it's going to alert your phone when some animal or whatever walks in front of the camera, and therefore you're going to be okay. So basically when the motion is detected, the siren will go off. Now that would work really well for a security purpose, but you definitely don't want the siren going off if you have this, out in the trees, for a trail camera. So when you hit share camera, a QR code will come up. You can actually take a screenshot, send it to your friends. They click on the QR code and they automatically have access to the camera. No offense, but I'm not going to do that for you guys because I don't want you using up all my data. So when you go into camera recording, obviously you can turn the camera recording off so you're not using up data. Say you get really close to your data usage and you just want to turn the recording off for a little bit, you can. The other thing too is scheduling. So usually I don't schedule cameras to take pictures or videos during certain times of the day. I just let it record all the time. But last year I was having a big issue because my camera was dying because we had a barrel set out for the bears. It was full of grains and candies, and all day long there would be 10 ravens sitting on this barrel. And I tried to scare them away with the alarm. I tried to scare them away with my voice activation, and they would fly away, but they would be back within 30 seconds. So it was very annoying that they kept setting my camera off and they were just recording. And my camera was recording all day long, and my battery could not keep up. So in order to keep my batteries charged, I had to turn off my camera and recording feature from around 10 o'clock to a couple hours before sunset, so that it was just absorbing all that solar energy to keep my batteries, charged. Because most of the time the bears were coming out, right at dawn and right at dusk, right, same as deer hunting hours. That's mainly when the bears were coming out, and this is mainly what we use this camera for, was for our bear season. So I was actually scheduling it to turn off from 10 a.m. till, I can't remember what the time, like 4 or 5, just to charge those batteries, because I needed those batteries to stay charged the entire time that the camera was set up there. So that is a good feature to be able to do. I know a lot of cameras have that nowadays, but it actually worked really well for me. I was really happy that I did that. Cancel. And then you can change the post-motion recording duration. So as long as something's in front of your camera, the camera's just going to keep recording, but if it walks out of sight, the camera will basically just keep recording for 8 seconds afterwards. You can go all the way up to 30 seconds. That's personal preference. Obviously, if something walks back in front of the camera, it's going to start recording again. And then you have the overwrite feature. So when the storage is full, it's going to overwrite the oldest files on the camera. So we got the Key and Ranger PT set up here. We have the antenna
The camera's right here and it moves around, and then I got the solar panel. It comes with a really long cord, so if you want to put this up high, if you want to put it, you want to put the solar panel up high, whatever, you have plenty of cable to extend it as far as you need to go. So like, even if say you had this set up over here under this tree where there's no shade, you could put the solar panel somewhere else. So for instance, you could set the camera up under this tree over here that's covered in shade, but you can put the solar panel out that's out in the sun, so it's still getting solar energy and providing recharging for your batteries inside the camera. Now the camera will work without the solar panel hooked up. So right now I'm walking directly in front of the camera, and there you go. Already got a notification on my phone, and now we are roughly 10 yards out. I think it'll still send me live notifications if I have it going. So there I am. As you can see, it's a really wide angle. I am roughly, I'd say 15 yards from the camera, 10 yards in front of the camera, and you can see me, let's see. Oh, so it's got a little delay. So you can see me pointing at the camera. The camera's over here, and then I'm 10 yards out in front of it. I don't know if it's going to send notifications when I have the live feature on. Let's see if we get a notification saying that there's movement in front of the camera. We do not. About 5 yards from the camera right now as I walk by. No notification. Oh, there it is. So there's the notification. So that's 5 yards. Let's go back out to 10 yards, see if I get a notification. I'll give it a break a second. All right, let's give it a shot. Ten yards. There we go. So turn up the sensitivity a little bit, and we have it out. So now I'm going to go out to 20 yards. And I'm honestly just guesstimating here about how far I actually am. Walk directly in front of the camera. So nothing at 20 yards. So far I'm really happy with the Keen Ranger PT. Now I know that the camera could be a little bit more sensitive and the app could be a little bit more designed for hunters, but overall, you know, the future of cameras, this could be the future of cameras. I would like to see it take pictures. I do like that it, you know, it does record video and it doesn't use any data unless you go and watch the video. There's a lot of upside to this camera. You know, the cost of data is pretty cheap depending on where you get it, and you can watch live videos, you can watch, you know, recorded videos that are on the camera, and you just can watch them anytime you want. Now it's going to use up data, but the reality is it's almost instant. There's no other camera on the market where you can get a video that quick of a deer and, you know, be able to do some scouting while you're sitting on the couch. I think the video quality is pretty good. I zoom in all the time to see deer off into the distance. Now I can't count points, but I can tell if it's a buck or a doe. And I like the fact that you can pan and tilt it. Now the tilt really isn't that important down here, but when I get to the bear camp and I put it up really high. I try to get it up as high as I can away from the bears. They didn't seem to bother my Reolink last year, and I'm hoping that they don't bother this camera again this year. If you're looking for a security camera, if you're looking for a way to scout animals, if you're looking just to have some fun with videos in the woods, you can do so with this camera. When it comes to the Reolink app, it is useful, but I would like to see more hunting features. Maybe they make their own Keen hunting app or something like that, where we can organize videos, we can, you know, AI filter some of these bucks, tell the difference between bucks and does. But overall, you know, the picture quality is good, the ability to be able to pan and tilt is good, and then just having the live feature is great. If you guys are interested in this camera, there is a link below. It is a little bit more expensive in the beginning, but you will save on data rates, and I will tell you right now, based on other cameras in this market with live and video, it will be cheaper in the long run. If you guys are interested in this camera, there's a link down below. It is not an affiliate link. It is just a link from the company. Keen did send me this camera to review, and they just said, you know, make an honest review. So far, I've had a great experience with the camera. Can't tell you, you know, what it's going to be in a year, but I will make a video if anything happens. It will be a lot cheaper than many other cameras in this price range due to the cheap data. If you guys are interested in the SIM cards that I use, just leave a comment and I'll let you guys know what I use. This video is about the camera, not about the SIM cards, but I will say that I spend $15 a month and I get 2 gigabytes of data. And I am on this thing all the time and I've never ran out of data. Last year when we had it up at deer camp for the bear hunt, I was watching bears probably every night. I mean, my kids were probably on there 10 to 15 minutes every night watching bears live, and we never ran out of data. That being said, you know, in the long run, this camera probably will save you a little bit of money, as well as it's got really great futuristic features. And that's it. So thanks for watching. Comment down below, hit that like button, subscribe. I don't say this stuff anymore. It's just a habit. Thanks for watching. See you guys on the next video. Bye-bye.